Hey everybody, future Matty here. Real quick, in case you hear bleeps, it's because Marina realized kind of halfway into this episode that she wasn't allowed to say a particular name. So, what you're hearing bleeped out is the name of that place. Thank you for bearing with us during this trying time. Enjoy episode 6. Peace and love. Welcome to the Playdate podcast. I'm Matty Baglio, and here's my guest. This is Renee Rapp.
Okay. Well, I was actually gonna ask you a question. If you put your into mouthwash, do you think would it burn? I've actually been contemplating this a lot. Not like your specifically, just like in general.
It's just skin.
But like, doesn't the inside of your mouth burn because it's like minty? That's just skin.
If you got mouthwash on your finger, would it burn?
I don't know. I've never done that.
I'm assuming no, because otherwise they wouldn't make it a product that goes in your face.
What if you just kept your finger in?
What is happening?
I was just wondering.
In what instance would I be putting my entire
if I
mouthwash
splashed mouthwash like up? Like, I would have to go to the hospital, probably. Right? Like, wouldn't that burn? Like, I feel like that would burn.
I just think you're never going to be in that situation. I don't know why we would think about that.
I've just been pondering lately.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome
back.
I'm Marina Black.
I'm Matty Baglio.
We're here.
Are here.
We're dying a little bit.
Just a little bit. You ever just feel like things are going crazy? Yeah. We do not have any special guests today. Sorry for making you think we did.
We have Alyssa over here.
We do have Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey. She's in the corner. You might see her frolicking about in the background.
Unless I cut it out. We'll see.
Okay. Well, or not. Anyway.
Terriers. Rah!
Right now, the Terriers are playing in the Frozen Four.
We might bite our cheeks if they lose after this podcast
if they
airs.
Lose, I'm gonna be upset, but they're not gonna lose. So
yeah, they lost. Okay, optimist.
Manifest. No, I would say I'm an optimist.
I feel like of the two of us, though, am I the pessimist?
Yeah.
Really? Because I've always been an optimist.
It depends.
It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
If I really care about it and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so much fun, I always say like, it's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna try to manifest it, but you manifest like anything.
I manifest everything.
Yeah.
Guys, let's not talk about my manifestation powers because they've been too strong this semester. I have manifested too much. It's been bad.
And they've all come true.
They've all come true, and it's been so bad, and it's not good. I need to calm down. My witchcraft needs to stop. All right. Let's get into the opener of today.
Let's get right into it. Dream guest on the podcast? One of my exes. If that's old by the time this airs, that would be...
It is going to be old. It's new right now. It's actually a couple days old.
It's actually kind of old right now.
Yeah. That's fine. All right. What is your dream job, Mr. Baglio?
I've had a sports center host as my dream job since I was a little kid. But starting in high school, it was Saturday Night Live.
That's good.
Either cast member or host. Because I think I could be a cast member and I could like create a recurring character like Target Lady.
So that's your dream job?
Not that character specifically.
Okay.
But yeah, Saturday Night Live. Yeah. And there's a video of me on our trip to New York City.
Yes.
That I stood outside 30 Rockefeller Center where they tape SNL, NBC Studios. And I said, one day I'm going to work up there. Now, if I'm the janitor, technically that dream has come true.
Yeah, you can do it. I believe. You manifested.
Thank you.
Yeah. My dream job is influencer.
You're already there.
Thank you.
The Playdate pod.
It's like kind of my dream job, kind of not.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's a lot that goes into that.
If I was an influencer, I feel like a lot of my problems would be solved in life, though. So.
Is that because of the money or because of like the
money? That's a big one.
The fan base.
I would love to have a crowd of minions.
Yeah.
I think. But also, I would like to be a teacher. I think that'd be fun.
I would love to be a teacher who made $150,000.
Yep, me too. That would be actually even 100,000.
Yeah.
Settle.
Settle for 100,000.
Settle. I would settle. I do really like coaching gymnastics. I think that's really fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Olympic gymnastics coach.
No, I would never. Like that's so stressful though. Like coaching the Olympics. Whoa.
They already did all the work. They know what they're doing.
They do know. What
How
they're doing.
like honestly, like how do Olympic coaches make them any better?
That's true. That's true. It has to come from within.
Yeah, it has to come from within.
Come from within.
Yeah.
Mostly for safety reasons. I feel like the coaches are there. Like, oh, if she's falling out of the sky, you.
Like I guess I got her.
You know, I wouldn't say gymnastics coach is my dream job,
Okay.
but I do really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are a gymnastics coach now.
I am a gymnastics coach now.
So are you?
I'm on hiatus.
You're on hiatus, but
While
like,
I'm on-
would you
while
say
I'm in school.
while you are a gymnastics coach,
Mhm.
is it your dream job?
Yeah, kind of, because I really like working with kids, and gymnastics is like something I love to do. But I'm kind of overdoing gymnastics now. I really just enjoy coaching more. I'm not going to lie.
You know, you either live long enough. Wait, you either
Keep
die
going.
a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Oh,
And
maybe I'll
that-
become a villain.
No, don't do
Oh,
that.
okay. Sorry, I thought that's what
You
that
either
was
die
about.
a player or live long enough to see yourself become the coach.
Well, isn't that just so fantastic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a crazy segue.
I agree. That was a crazy segue into what we're talking about today.
Sports.
Matthew James Baglio, you have some sports experience. Would you like to go through just a quick little rundown?
Oh boy, I have played many a sport in my day. It doesn't sound like I have based on that.
Many a sport in my day.
Many a sport in my day. I played baseball, basketball, flag football, soccer at a very young age, tennis at a very young age. I swam for a long time. I think I ended swimming technically last summer, but I wasn't good. I stopped being good in like sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
And what other sports did I play? Let's see. Kickball. I was a menace at kickball.
Okay.
That didn't really. It wasn't like an organized.
We
kickball.
love kickball.
Yeah.
Up in this household.
I
hate
was-
ball sports. All of them. Like I can't. Sorry. Continue.
In basketball, and I played rec basketball. I was always the short little stubby kid that couldn't really run that fast until I had my growth spurt in 8th and 9th grade,
Mhm.
and then I just dominated on the court.
Wow.
Insane. Like
Uh-huh.
I was in the low block. I was posting up on guys.
Uh-huh.
I put up 20 points per game in the rec league.
Wow.
And baseball was the big one. Baseball
Okay,
was the
baseball.
one I kind of dropped a lot of things for because
Mhm.
I ended up liking it. I was not good,
Yeah, that's fair. You don't have to be good.
but
to be
then
good.
I was.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
and then I kept going with it.
Development.
I wasn't good, so I ended up choosing the one position that nobody wanted to play,
Mhm.
and that was the only way that I could be a starter.
Okay.
And I became a catcher, and then from there, I learned how to do that, and I actually wasn't bad anymore.
Wow. I'm
So,
really impressed.
Look at that.
Look
Thanks.
at you, evolution.
What sports did you play?
Well, because of mandatory PE class, I played a plethora of sports. Was I good at any of them?
No.
Absolutely not. Because the sports you play in PE class all have like a common denominator, if you will. I forget mathy.
Not what that is.
What?
That's not what that is, right?
A
Common
common
de-
denominator. Yeah.
That's a math term.
Yeah. Listen to the metaphor. The common denominator is balls. Now, I can't do sports with balls.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work. I have no hand-eye coordination, so
Yeah.
I think that's my issue. So I played all the sports. I played basketball, all the
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Softball. Sorry, we weren't allowed to play baseball because it was
All girls school.
well, and also because we didn't have outside, so like we played in a gym, but our gym is not standard size,
No.
so small gym. I played pickleball. Chapin was very ahead of the time on pickleball.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we started playing it in middle school, so like, really ahead of the time. I was not good. But the sports I did do outside of school were ballet and swimming. I was on a swim team for a year.
Love swim.
But then I quit those two to
Oh.
do gymnastics.
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics, that was the big one.
Which, as we all know, is Marina's least favorite sport.
Yeah, I actually hate it. I hate that sport. No,
How
but
long did you do it for?
I did it for, this is my 11th year.
Wow.
So I did it from 8 to 18, which is actually, that's pretty old to start gymnastics.
Yeah, I
Most
was
people
going to
start
say, yeah.
3, 4, but I taught myself gymnastics before
Look at
then.
you.
And then when I went to a gym, they just put me on the team.
Got it. All right.
So I've been competing for 10 years, but also doing gymnastics officially for
Got
10
it.
years. So,
So
yeah.
you love gymnastics.
I do.
And you have a great aversion to balls.
I do.
Is that because you're a lesbian?
I think partially. I think, yeah.
Got it.
The aversion to balls.
The aversion to
especially,
balls
I would say, personally.
Is because
yeah.
it just clicked.
Yeah.
Some jokes write themselves.
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about silly stories from our sports times. And we're going to transition because we're both coaches. I coach gymnastics, you coach swimming.
Yes. We have stories that are not just from our times as athletes, but our times as coaches as well.
That was a good way to put it. Sorry, my brain isn't quite fully comprehending what's
Today, for the first time, we are filming the Playdate at 6:30.
And on a Thursday.
On a
we normally film at noon on a Tuesday.
Yeah, we have all the energy. We just ate.
Yeah.
Like
we are a little bit slow today.
Yeah.
So bear with us.
If the editing of this episode cuts out a lot and it makes us seem like we're talking really fast, you know why.
You know why. Yes. We're feeling a little tired. But we rally.
We rally. Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
Marina,
I don't.
Oh, you don't like balls.
I don't like balls.
Marina has a list.
I do.
So I think we should just let her get started, I feel like.
All right. We're just going to go in random order. So this is not really funny, but I think there's humor in it. So as we might not know, I broke my spine.
Not many of the viewers may know that.
Yeah, okay. So I broke part of my spine because of gymnastics. Yeah. And that was...
How did it happen?
Okay, well, the first time... Oh, because I broke it twice within 9 months. That's the funny part, I would say, personally. So the first time, it was stress fractured. Overuse. But I didn't realize it was broken for 2 months. So I was walking around with a broken
that hurts.
spine.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I just thought it was normal gymnastics pain. I was like, la la la. And then I finally went to the doctor and they were like, so actually you need to be put in a back brace. It's broken.
That's
so
crazy.
I wore a back brace for 3 months.
What does the back brace look like? Is it like a big t-shirt?
No, it's like a corset, but hard plastic. 23 hours a day.
What was the hour you got to take it off?
Shower. Yeah. And then 1 month after I finished physical therapy for that first time, which was the end of January 2020, end of February 2020, I broke my spine. So wasn't that just so fantastic? But then
I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, I don't really know how I did that either. I think because I was a very bendy child.
Okay.
And I didn't have the core muscles.
You were dropped on your head early in childhood.
No, I didn't have the core muscles to sustain that back flexibility. Okay. So I just kept bending, and then it was...
Your back was too flexible for the rest of you.
Yeah, it was just so,
Was the second one also a stress factor?
That was acute. But I didn't realize it until after I got home.
I am adorable.
Good one. But anyway, I just think gymnastics stories, injury stories, are just so funny.
I have an injury story.
Yeah.
It was 5th grade. I swam competitively from 4th grade to 10th grade. And that felt like a very long time for me because I ended it right after COVID, and I got back after COVID, and I was like, you guys are better than me. I'm good.
Let me time out.
And we're done.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of moments where I got really good, and I had junior Olympic times, and I was making my way up. I wasn't the best in my class. Watching first. I don't know the words.
Hometown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was pretty good, and I was working my way up. I wasn't the best in my age group, but I was working my way up. And in 5th grade, I was on this one team called the Princeton Piranhas. Because every swim team has a fish associated to it.
Okay.
And because the first time I was with the Princeton Pirates.
Wow.
So
now
ocean.
You're a piranha.
Then I became a piranha.
Okay.
And this pool was so much closer to my house than the last one. And I was like, great. This is awesome. And I know people on the team. I don't know. We all do the workouts together. I ended up hating it. My coach was ruthless.
Yeah.
I was 9
Coaches
years old.
really make or break it. Oh my God.
She was pregnant the whole time.
Okay.
She was pregnant from September to March, which is when I swam in the season.
Yeah.
So that was a lot.
Yeah.
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 So
Pregnancy is
would-
hard.
Yeah, pregnancy's hard, but taking it out on kids shouldn't be necessary.
That's not great, especially if you're about to have a child of your own.
Yes.
You would think you would be nice to
Maybe
kids.
you would want to try to be a better maternal figure.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
So the very last day of this team, I knew I hated it. I knew I wanted to switch.
Yeah.
There were some other teams in the area that I could have gone to, but I didn't really know yet. So all I knew was that this was my last day. I hadn't told anybody. But last 15 minutes of practice, we always do starts. So you get on the block, 3 swimmers, take your mark, go. I was getting out of the pool. I walked around and I got back to the start after I did my first sprint. And I looked down and my right foot is like bleeding like crazy.
Oh.
I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what happened. I was like,
but you're like gushing blood.
Gushing blood. So then I go to my coach and I'm like, hey, it's probably not a big deal. But I'm
gushing blood.
My foot looks weird. So then I sit down and like we dry all the blood and stuff. And I noticed that my nail had opened up like a book.
Absolutely not.
Of my right foot pinky toe.
Ew. That's
I
disgusting.
must have snagged it on a nail, but I didn't feel it.
Okay.
At all.
That's a little crazy.
I didn't.
Is there pain receptors down there?
Well, I don't know what it is. My pinky toes are really small, and I kind of think like no.
Yeah.
Like I have a nerve down there, like because I can feel things. But there may not be a pain receptor for me down there because I just, I had no idea this was even happening.
Just gushing blood.
So then my mom comes to pick me up, and I go, hey, and I look down at my foot, and she goes, oh my God. When I tell you, like, this is the nail, and it was open.
Ew.
So then I go to the hospital.
You go to the hospital for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? My nail came off.
Girl, sorry. I was just raised in a household where you don't go to the doctor.
We went to the ER.
You went to the ER?
My nail came off.
God. Well, I guess my mother's a doctor, so that's like probably why.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, my sister used to dislocate her elbow all the time. My mom would just put it back.
I guess that's something that you can do like without like tools or anything.
I guess that's fair.
But I got this like specific like reattachment thing.
Oh, I would just tear it off and then let it regrow.
So I go to the ER and they're like, we may have to do stitches. And at the time, I was terrified of getting stitches.
You would be.
Because I didn't know what it was, but I didn't know that they would have like numbed me and I wouldn't have felt the pain. I thought I was gonna be like a Stitch doll and like
just like
I would feel it all when they were putting it together.
You didn't feel your nail ripping off, but you'll feel the stitches.
So I'm like kind of crying because I was 9 years old and like I get into the operating room and they're like, never mind, we're not doing stitches. And I'm like,
thank
cool.
God.
Wait a second. What are we doing? So it said that they had this like adhesive that they could just place it back.
That's nice. That was a disgusting tale.
This is the only like big sports injury I have other than like accidentally falling down backwards playing baseball and spraining my wrist.
Oh.
That's like lame though.
I feel like I've definitely gotten some concussions, but I don't believe in those, so it's okay.
Yes, we know.
I just like to reiterate in case anyone thinks that.
How do you not believe in concussions?
I just don't. Like, just power through. You're fine. Like, honestly.
My mom would never let me play football.
Yeah.
Because of concussions. I wasn't even allowed.
Tell her they're not real.
I wasn't.
My mom's a doctor, so I would know that.
I also wasn't allowed to play flag football.
Because of concussion.
Because it was a gateway sport. You know how marijuana is known as the gateway drug? Well, flag football is the gateway sport. I was only allowed to play for one season, my 8th grade season.
Otherwise,
I came in.
You would be too gatewayed.
I would be too gatewayed.
Yeah.
I played quarterback for my team, and they were like, where have you been this whole time? And I go, ask her. And
I'm not allowed.
I wished I could play so much. I loved football. I still do to this day. And I wish that I could play a bit more. And I got asked to play high school football because my high school football team is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And they always were bad. Like on our homecoming, we would pick easy opponents so we could try to beat them in front of the big crowd.
Yeah.
We still lost like 42-7.
It's okay. It's okay.
So I get it
They're
that they
there.
wanted me.
Yeah.
My senior year in September,
Uh-huh.
an assistant coach of the football team who I've never met before
Yeah.
came up to me in the hallway,
Mm.
unprovoked, goes, "Hey, do you want to play football?"
You're like, oh,
I go,
my mom won't
my
let-"
mom won't let me. And he goes, "Damn, you look really strong." And I was like,
Okay.
thank you. Like,
thanks. Like, okay.
yeah.
Recruiting. Oh my gosh.
Were you ever recruited?
Absolutely not. I'm nowhere close to being good enough to being recruited.
Recruited for another sport?
No.
Okay.
I didn't play any other sports.
No, but like, did somebody see you do gymnastics and you're like, "This is amazing. She needs to play pickleball"?
Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened. No, me opting because okay, in my school is like in high school, if you played an outside sport for enough hours,
You didn't have to do gym class. Yeah.
And I was you could only do that sophomore through senior year.
Okay.
But sophomore year was our COVID year, and they wouldn't let me opt out because they're like, you're endangering the Chapin community because you're doing things outside that could
bring COVID in.
That could bring COVID in. And I was like, you think not letting me get PE credit is gonna stop me from doing the sport that I do like 12 hours a week?
I do it so much.
Like,
this isn't gonna stop
me. So I was just so annoyed because I would have to do fucking COVID PE class, and I was like, this is so. It was going on walks. We would go on a
COVID
walk.
PE class for us was like a program, like an online program,
We had
and
to
they
do
would say
grade.
like push-ups or
Yeah,
something.
we would have to send time lapses of us working out in freshman spring to prove that
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was so weird.
I just had to say I did it and like
yeah,
write a paragraph about it. I did it like half the time. At the time, I was still like a tryhard. In gym class, like you can tell.
Yeah.
I like dodgeball in gym class was my time to shine.
Yeah, I can see that.
I destroyed everyone.
I'm sure you did.
I lost in the championship last year in the benefit dodgeball game that ended up causing a fight between the private school and the public school. It was awesome. It was so good.
It's okay.
Because we hate the private school.
Fuck the private school.
Fuck the private. No,
literally
not you.
Us in a private school right now.
On my tour yesterday, who was from that private school, and I had to hide it with my entire being.
You're like,
that I was like, I hate them. But I was nice.
It's okay. That's good.
I'm very cordial.
Good. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna talk about my first 2 years at because I was on level copper.
Big deal.
In my first years because I did like USA IGC instead of like USAG, which is like levels 1 through 10. And so I was on copper, but a little known fact about Marina, she didn't talk. And so from ages 8 to 10, I was going to this gym 3 times a week. But all the coaches loved me because I never caused any issues because I was just
you didn't talk
silent and I did my little handstand.
Yeah.
One time, oh my god, we had to hold handstands against the wall for like a minute, which is like it's tiring, like it is.
Yeah.
And so people would like come down in the middle. But one time our coach got so mad, we all had to hold handstands, and if anyone came down, the time would start over. But like everyone else had to stay up. I held that handstand the entire time. It was like over 5 minutes. I don't know how I did it. But
how did you not faint?
Yeah, honestly, the willpower I had, I could not do that now. But when finally it all worked and like everyone came down, she was like, raise your hand if you didn't come down. So I raised my hand along with a couple other people, and we had to watch as everyone else had to do 100 push-ups. It was so like,
holy crap!
We didn't have to do it, but we had to stand and watch as everyone else did 100 push-ups.
That's worse.
Like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, like, oh my god, like that's crazy. All the coaches like me, including who's now he's my boss. There's like a lobby downstairs and then the gym is upstairs, and we would all be running around and doing cartwheels except for me. I was like, because you would get yelled at if you were running around. And so one time just got so annoyed by everyone running around that he told was like, Marina, you're in charge of everyone. Keep in mind, some of these people were like 14 years old. He's like, you're in charge. If anyone else is running around, like, you have to keep them in line. I was like, oh my god, okay. But what was I supposed to do? I was just there in the corner silent. Like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then when we got upstairs, we got lectured for running. And for all of our stretching and all of our conditioning time, we had to run laps instead. It was like 45 minutes to an hour of running laps.
Oh my god.
And I was like, wow. Like, I thought this was all on me. Like, I had a lot of guilt about that. Because I was like, if I had just stopped everyone from running around, like, it would have been fine. But yeah, Honestly,
I couldn't do it.
I just couldn't. Like, obviously,
I'm sorry.
he was joking, of course, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of responsibility on me at 9. I was very stressed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those weren't really funny, but they're kind of funny for me.
They're funny now.
They're very funny
Yeah.
now. In the time, not funny. I thought about it for a long time.
Yeah.
I still think about it.
I have stuff in my head,
Mm.
like this next one. I was on this really, really intense travel team because the first travel team was like through the town.
Yeah.
But this next travel team was like big deal.
Mhm.
So actually, it wasn't as big of a deal as like some other ones.
Yeah.
It was kind of just a money grab.
Okay.
It was called PPH, Power Pitching and Hitting.
All right.
They are now called the PPH Mafia, which just seems wrong.
Yeah.
Why would you name a team that?
The Mafia.
So many other names, and they chose Mafia. Anyways, when I was there, they were just PPH, and I was really good on that team, and I was starting to like come into my own. And I would go to all the practices, and they were like out, less than an hour away, but like a good amount. And then they changed the schedule, and it was going to be Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And Thursday nights, I always had choir rehearsal for my church choir.
No,
and I
literally
couldn't.
Troy Bolton.
To stop. I had to choose, and I chose the choir because I couldn't miss, and I had a very strict director that I definitely like admired and looked up to, and I didn't want to like piss him off. So I still went to the church choir, and I didn't go to the Thursday practices for baseball, but in order to make up for that, I did private lessons with that team on Wednesday because they offered that. So basically, I was paying more money to make sure that I was still keeping up.
Private lessons are expensive.
Yeah. And then they told me, hey, you gotta come to practices. Like one every so often is fine. But if you're missing every time, I'm like, dude, like, what do you think is happening? Like,
you think I'm just choosing to not go?
I literally can't. But then one time, I told them I couldn't go to a practice on a Thursday. I said, because I have a prior engagement. Previous engagement.
The previous engagement.
Because I have a previous engagement. And then from then on, they called me the professor.
That's good.
It's pretty good.
I would do that too. That's really funny.
Yeah. And long story short, I left that team after they were like, but you like playing with us, right? And I was like, yeah, man. I like totally lied my ass off because I knew my mom was going to write this like heinous email. And then when my brother started playing on that team 4 years later, the coach remembered me, which was so awkward.
That is so
He gets so many players.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, anyway.
Whatever. Go ahead.
You're just memorable like that.
Thank you.
Wow. All right. There have just been a couple silly things that I'm going to speed run. I've broken a balance beam 2 times. At my time.
Those are supposed to be so strong!
They are, but both times I guess I happened to jump on the wrong spot at the wrong time. The first time was like when I was in 6th grade. I was doing this just a jump, and I landed, and then it collapsed.
On your foot?
No, I was on the beam. I did jump on it. I landed back on it.
Oh, you jumped on it? Oh my god.
Yeah, and then that last time was in June. And I broke the balance beam twice. And I got to keep the little piece, though, that broke off. It was very exciting. I have it here with me at Boston University because it was in my backpack and I just happened to bring it.
You just brought it to school?
I didn't mean to, but like it just happened. Also, in gymnastics, there's a lot of creepy people. Specifically male coaches.
What?
I've had a good experience with most of them, but
Good.
there was one. He no longer works there, but he did some silly things. Nothing crazy, just some silly things. And once we told his superiors about those things, he was forced to apologize to us, which is just so awkward because we were standing there and he starts crying. He's like 45. I don't even know. He's like, I've never in my like 20 years of coaching have I ever been accused of something like this. We're like, and he's like, will you forgive me? What are you supposed to say except for,
yeah, sure.
Like that was just really, it was funny. I laugh at it now, but it's a little silly. Anyway, should we be talking to...
Speaking of coaching.
Should we get into some coaching?
I have a very good story. It's quick.
Okay.
Last summer, my ex-girlfriend came to one of our meets. And I accidentally let it slip to my swimmers that my girlfriend was coming to the meet.
Yeah, I've done this before.
And they didn't know I even had a girlfriend. And
for the context, these swimmers are 7 and 8 years old. So their coach having a girlfriend is like the coolest thing. I remember like I would have been like, oh my God. Like,
exactly. No.
They don't do great with social cues because again, second grade, third grade, grade, third grade. And they thought I was like 30.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I once asked a kid how old I was. I've gotten 15. I've gotten 45.
Yeah. It depends on how tall you are compared to the other coaches.
That's so true.
One of my co-coaches is 4 inches shorter than me, but 4 years older than me.
She's like 15.
She's 15. Yeah. I'm 42.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I accidentally let it slip to my swimmers that my ex-girlfriend or my girlfriend at the time was coming to the meet. And they go, oh my God. Really? Coach Matty has a girlfriend? What? And I go, yeah, I have a girlfriend, but she's only going to be here for a little bit, which was a lie. She was going to be there for like 2.5 hours. And so I text her real quick. I go, hey, babe, they know about you.
They know.
They know everything. And you're going to have to hide. And I'll be able to see you, but quickly. We can eat at the snack bar and then run.
Meet me behind the snack bar.
Meet me behind the snack bar. And there were a couple times throughout the season, the reason why they found out that I let it slip was because I was calling someone that says, hey, just park in the parking lot, I'm right inside. And then I ended the phone call and my lock screen was me and her. So then they say, is that your girlfriend? Is she coming in? And I accidentally say yes, like an idiot.
Sometimes you just say yes to things and you don't mean it.
Whoa. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Playdate would like to recognize that you have the ability to say no, and
and your no
means no.
No means no. You should respect anyone who says no to you.
Yes.
And
just sorry, quick Disney Channel style PSA.
PSA, no means no. And let's not push people's boundaries on no. Let's not. No.
I will not push your boundary.
See, this is a perfect example.
This is why this works.
I push your boundaries, you don't push mine.
Exactly. It's great. And I cry in the bathroom.
I would like to put it out there that I don't think I make him cry in the bathroom.
She'll never know. Your coaching stories.
My coaching stories. Well, one, they let me start coaching at age 13, which is a little bit.
Ooh, that's tough.
I wasn't getting paid because it was like over the summer, like I was volunteering at camp, so I wasn't allowed to like spot them or anything until I was 16 and like officially they offered me a position like a week before my 16th birthday because I had been coaching for a couple summers already, which was so nice of them. Thank you. But over my time as a coach, I developed a little heart condition because one summer
is this funny?
It's funny. There was this girl who will remain nameless, but she was 7, old enough to behave herself, but these floor to ceiling windows, and the balance beams were right next to the windows. Balance beams are like 4 feet off the ground, and she was really good for her age, so she was in like a more advanced group. Her behavior, however, was not. And so every day I had to coach this girl who I never knew what she was going to do next. For example, she would jump from the balance beams and try and stick herself onto the windows like Spider-Man. I don't know what she was expecting to happen.
She's Spider-Man!
She always, it happened multiple times. Bounce off the window, she jumped like she's 5 feet up in the air, fall onto the ground, onto mats, and cry. And other stuff happened.
I can't do it. I got hurt. No, why?
Why?
I wonder why.
I wonder why you got hurt.
Yeah.
But it got so bad because I had to coach her for 8 weeks and spend the whole day with her because it was camp as well. That after camp ended, I would notice every hour like my heart skipped a beat, and I was like, that's a little odd. And so I went to the doctor, went to the cardiologist. My blood pressure was so high for those 8 weeks.
From dealing with her?
From dealing with her, I was so stressed for such a prolonged period of time that these were the effects of my blood pressure coming back down to normal. Like, it was so bad, my heart couldn't cope with the fact that my blood pressure was normal again.
So now
I have to try and avoid stress and anxiety for prolonged periods of time. Which is a
I
little tricky.
never knew that whole story. It was
Yep.
because of some little girl.
Yep. But that's a big one. Also, I coach on the Upper East Side, so a lot of private chefs. You know, one time this girl was like, "Oh, my driver's not picking me up today. My private chef is because my
Yeah.
driver's on vacation." And I was
Sure.
like, "Yeah." There's a lot
Sure.
of debating of lesbianism, and I'm
Oh,
like,
Upper East Side things.
well, yeah, there's a school really close that's like a Catholic school, and I had this group of girls who all
Oh.
went to the same Catholic school, and they found out in my class that lesbianism existed
Exists?
because one girl in the class, her parents told her what lesbians were, and so that was a whole revelation.
You know how girls marry boys? What if I told you a girl married a girl?
that's and then there's a whole thing. They were like, "That makes me so uncomfortable." I was like,
What?
they were like 7.
How do they even know that it makes them uncomfortable? They've never even seen it.
I don't even know. But me, a raging homosexual,
Sure.
was not going to be like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing." I was not going to take this as a teaching moment because then they would tell their parents that their gymnastics coach told them about lesbians, and
then it would make its way around the
it
circle.
would be over for me, basically.
Yeah.
So
I would be
I was
cooked.
just like, "Oh, let's keep it to gymnastics in
Sure.
gymnastics class." You
Yeah.
know?
I have a crazy story
Mhm.
about my first experience with lesbianism.
Oh, do you?
My godfather
Mhm.
is and was the first gay man I ever knew.
Mhm.
He's married to his husband Morgan, and they're amazing, and they send me gifts on my birthday.
That's so kind.
And it's so nice.
Yeah.
And they were the first gay relationship I ever saw.
Mhm.
So from a young age, like I wasn't like phased by it like a
Yeah.
lot of my other friends were because
Mhm.
they didn't see it in their real lives.
Yeah.
However, I didn't see a lesbian couple in my real life. I'd never seen a woman dating a woman.
Mhm.
I was walking through Central Park
Mhm.
when I was 7 years old,
Mhm.
and the first time I ever saw a lesbian couple
Mhm.
was when they were making out on a park bench.
Oh, that's a little rough. Oh.
And I was like, huh, good for them. Like it wasn't like I was scared. I didn't
No.
want to hide away from it. It was just like,
Wow.
yeah,
New thing unlocked.
awesome.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Anything else you would like to say?
We should end it with that.
I
honestly.
think that was really good.
Yeah.
Be gay.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be you. All right.
Fun. All right. Well,
I've been Matty Baglio.
I've been Marina Black.
No, you haven't. Peace and love, everybody.
What do you mean I haven't?